My name is Dee McCall, and I'm community organizer with the Freedom Bloc. And today I'm just asking for accountability from the landlords and property managers. And also if we can create a reinvestment into housing, and also just other solutions that I could bring to the table is just starting to build affordable housing on the inner belt that destroyed Black and brown communities in Akron that isn't used today. And also if we could reuse the vacant hotel that's downtown to create adequate housing for those who are struggling with inadequate housing. And also if we can create better protections for our citizens and for the cities by creating stricter rules for out of the state landlords and property managers, similar to how colleges have out-of-state tuition. I feel as though we should create an out-of-state tax so it could be a protection for our city and for our residents. We have an issue of out-of-state property managers and landlords that are not really taking care of the property, that is creating a disconnect between adequate housing and also just within the community. So we're just seeking better accountability and then stricter rules to hold landlords and property managers accountable to treat our citizens better. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nicholas Cassiopo.
Hi, my name is Nick Cassiopo, 41 Marshall Avenue, Ward 1. I'm hoping I won't be interrupted this week. First off, I have yet to receive a response as to why Margot felt the need to limit my First Amendment speech rights last week. I was told twice now that I should expect a statement on the matter, but so far I have heard nothing of any substance outside of baseless claims that I was, quote, attacking people. I'm terribly sorry that some council members feel that me pointing out matters of fact about their records is an attack. Picking up from where I left off last time, though, Jeff and Dan received tens of thousands of dollars in campaign contributions from a longtime friend who was slated to get a lucrative fracking bill from the city last January. I can't think of a clearer example of pay-to-play corruption, but yet somehow this council and city leadership just glossed over the matter entirely. APD officer Phil Sr. and prosecutor Gert Realms were allowed to abuse their positions of power to trample on the First Amendment rights of activists in the city, yet y'all sat on your hands and did nothing. Why was there no investigation then? You all and Dan hired Chief Milet, even though he was sued for racial discrimination at his last department for firing a Black police officer who complained of racism in the force. Milet also sued the city of Corpus Christi because he felt discriminated against for being a white man. Instead of being transparent about these facts, city leadership has continued to remain silent and brush it under the rug. Officer Brian Simcock is under 2 investigations for taking and sharing inappropriate photos, one of which involves photos of the body of a young Black woman who died in a car crash after a police chase. Why have you all refused to address this? Even now, y'all are faced with a housing crisis decades in the making, and none of you, especially city leadership, are at all willing to do something about it. Every week it's like Groundhog Day calling in. Despite however many meetings y'all have had, still nothing has really been done. One would think Dan, Margot, Jeff, and Mike would investigate this crisis, but again, that hasn't been the case. We need updates from Donnie and Tara. What have you been doing to address the housing crisis at these and other properties? Same goes for Margot and Shamus. What have y'all been doing to address issues at Stony Point and White Pond? And the same goes for Linda as well. You know, CSS contracts with Stony Point and the Madeline, and we now know that conditions are really awful. We need updates on these. This housing problem is not just going to disappear. I would also like to ask why the city gave Redwood Housing the largest tax abatement yet, amounting to roughly $33 million. Why are Akron taxpayers subsidizing an out-of-state slumlord that is making the conditions worse at the Wilbeth and Erickson complexes? Redwood will save nearly $20 million in taxes over the next 15 years, yet rents at their properties continue to rise and unjust evictions continue to take place. So the tenants at these complexes will have to suffer and foot the bill for Redwood's tax subsidy, while some white out-of-state slumlords benefit. This sounds a lot like some racist segregationist economic policy, if you ask me, and you all are directly responsible for it.
Thank you. You've reached your time.
Thank
you so much, Mr. Cassiopo.
Just by restricting
your time is up, Mr. Cassiopo.
And developers from using it and providing loans to poor people for home renovations.
Thank you so much. Drew Woods. Is Mrs. Boyd online with us? All right.
I believe Mrs. Boyd is here in
Oh, Mrs.
chamber.
Boyd's here in person with us. Okay, thank you.
Hi,
Hello.
I just wanted to say I'm a strong supporter of Russ Neal and that he's a man of God and that whatever allegations came against him, they're not true because he's always a respectable man. Whoever he comes in contact with, he's always present everybody equally.
Mrs. Boyd, thank you so much for sharing. Reverend Beaty?
Madam President and members of the council, I am John Beaty, J-O-H-N-E-A-T-Y, 2047 Wyndham Road. Am I on?
I can't hear you that good.
Can we start over?
Yeah.
Madam President and members of the council, I'm John Beaty, J-O-H-N-B-E-A-T-Y, at 2047 Wyndham Road, Ward 8. I come to you tonight thankful for the privilege of meeting in person for the first time in many months. I come to you with two questions. The first question is, what is the purpose of City Council? Councilman Neal, in a conversation, gave me two answers, which I like. One, represent the citizens of Akron. Two, hold the city administration to account for the sake of the citizens we represent. In other words, to hold the city administration to its claim to be transparent. I value all of your response to that question. The second question is, what is equity? An answer came to me from the magazine The Nation in an article entitled "The Philosopher Politician." The principle that our society abandons no one and provides everyone with a stable footing for flourishing. Under this principle, who is abandoned in our city and who has not provided a stable footing for flourishing? Whom has our city abandoned and does not provide a stable footing for flourishing? I submit to you the answer is the homeless. We've already heard about Akron citizens having to live in deplorable apartment buildings maintained by people outside of the state. But there's nothing worse than to be so poor that you lose your house. We see this in the Ukraine crisis. People living ordinary lives and like that, they're forced to flee for their lives. I personally know homeless people who are forced to face danger, hardship, with no place to call home. Many cities, and I can name you a number if I have time,
I'm sorry, Mr.
some other time.
Mr. Beatty, I'm sorry. Next
Thank
time,
you.
save it for next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hargrove, did you fill out a form? Come on forward.
Good evening, Council. I'm here in reference to the Elevate Akron study, which all of you know has said that the Black community in Akron, Ohio has been excluded. Mr. Hardy at one time made a statement that is imperative that this body do something. It's been over 3 years, and the Black community Nothing. Okay, then we had the study about the inner belt, which I know a lot about because I lived there. I didn't know what it was all about when I was 13. But as I got to be 21 and 22, I learned that it was exclusion. And it even stated in that report that the black community has been redlined. And that's on the report that just came out about the inner belt. But never once have I heard this body declare emergency to do something for the black community. Never. And why not? All these reports said that the black community has been excluded, each and every one. But the city does nothing. We talk about it, but we do nothing. And I want to know why. I've been asking to have a meeting with the mayor. I'm a concerned citizen in my community. And I come down here, it's been years ago, I won't call no names because that's not allowed. And I was asking about my community. And the one gentleman that works here for the city, probably still here, I don't know, he told me, why are you coming down here asking when your leaders are not? Now, this is what I was told by a member of this council. And I want to know, will you do something? You have $145 million. It said the black community is supposed to be up on the top ladder in order to be some of this money. How much will you allocate for the black community after 40 years of redlining? How are you going to justify it? Or would you even think about it, put it on the radar that we need assistance? I feel like we're like Ukraine over there. Our voices is not heard. This council has not heard our voice because you haven't done anything. If you've done anything, point, as they say, point to your works. Ride in our community and show me what you have done. And it'll be a bad report card. So all I'm just asking, as I always do, allocate funding for us. There's no question in anyone's mind that the black community has not been redlined. So I'm going to let it go with that. Thank you, Council.
Thank you so much, Mr.
By the
Hargrove.
way, my address is 1008 Laurel Avenue, and I live in Ward 3.
Thank you, Mr. Hargrove. That concludes our